Hey Nolan, it's Bo. I'm doing that problem 45. So I've written some stuff out already. Let me just take you through what I've written so far. That's the original statement. This is what we're supposed to make it look equal to. I first rewrote tan and cotangent in terms of sine and cosine. So that's that. That's just going from here to here, rewriting everything in terms of sine and cosine. Then I wanted to get a common denominator for these, for this, and a common denominator there. And so for this, I'm just going to multiply top and bottom of 1 by sine over sine. Well, I'm going to multiply 1 by sine over sine. And here I'm going to multiply 1 by cosine over cosine. And that gets us to here. So that's sine over sine instead of 1, and cosine over cosine instead of 1. Then we can put these two fractions together, and we can put these two fractions together, which is what I did to get here. It's a hard problem. Now we have here one fraction divided by another fraction, and same thing here, one fraction divided by another fraction. We can deal with that by flipping and multiplying. So then I get sine over cosine, and here I'm flipping this, and that's giving me sine over sine minus cosine, and same process here. Okay, so now I'm going to keep going. What I want to do next is get a common denominator between this denominator and this denominator, and there are going to be two steps to that. I got to multiply, I need to flip this guy around so that it becomes sine minus cosine to match with this. That's easy to do. I can really think of it in terms of multiplying this by -1, and then I got to multiply the top by -1, which I'm going to accomplish by changing this sign to negative. And then I'm going to have to multiply, this denominator by sine, so that I have sine times cosine times, in parentheses, sine minus cosine. And likewise here, I'm going to multiply top and bottom of this by cosine, and then we'll have a common denominator. All right, so I am going to say that I now have sine cubed over sine times cosine times sine minus cosine. And then I'm changing this sign to negative, and I'm going to have cosine cubed up top over sine times cosine. And then this guy, as I said, I'm switching that guy around to sine minus cosine because I made this sign negative instead of positive. Okay, we're getting there. Now we have a common denominator, so I'm going to put those two fractions together. We got sine cubed minus cosine cubed over sine times cosine times sine minus cosine. The top is difference of cubes, so I can rewrite that as sine minus cosine times sine squared plus sine times cosine plus cosine squared. That's just the formula for difference of cubes, which you have dealt with, but probably not very often and not for a while. Then what do we have? Well, we have a common factor in the top and in the bottom, because this and this, these are common factors, so I can cancel those. And we're practically done. I'm going to rewrite the numerator, and not that it really matters, but I'm going to put sine squared and cosine squared next together. You mean next to each other? Okay, this sine squared plus cosine squared is just 1. So I'm going to be able to get this done on this page miraculously. That's what we have when we change sine squared plus cosine squared into 1. And then I can turn that into 2 fractions. 1 over sine times cosine plus sine cosine over sine cosine. And that is, this is equal obviously to 1. I'm going to put that first. And 1 over sine times cosine is equal to secant times cosecant. So that is that. I don't think she's going to give you something that hard, but that's it, Nolan. Thanks. I'll talk to you later. Good luck on the quiz. Bye.